Dear students, so moving further to the methods of pest control, we were discussing the mechanical method of pest control, and I started with discussing a few traps as mechanical method of pest control part 1. Continuing the same, this is mechanical method of pest control part 6. Moving further to the different types of traps, today I would discuss a few more. The next one in the category is the malaise traps. Now, another more elaborate trap is the malaise trap, which captures flying insects that move upward when they strike a barrier. This trap is a tent like structure made of netting with the collecting chamber at the top. Insects entering the trap eventually fly or crawl upward while attempting to escape. Instead of escaping, they become trapped in a killing jar or a container of ethanol. So, the difference in the other traps which we just talked about and the malaise trap is that this is meant for insects which are flying and they move upwards. They fly upwards. They crawl upward while trying to escape. Malaise traps can be purchased from commercial suppliers or constructed at home. A dark fabric is recommended for the base. These traps placed across paths or alongside streams, woods, or sheltered clearings frequently yield good catches. Also, when selecting a site, it is best to keep in mind that most insects fly upward. Now, see here, if you can see at the topmost part is the collecting jar. While in the other traps, when we were discussing, you must have noted that the collecting jar is at the bottom. So, it's just a tent kind of a structure, this malaise trap. It's a net, the insects enter inside, and as they try to escape, they move upwards, and while moving upwards, they are trapped in the collecting jar. Lures. These are just the attractants. Visual lures are generally effective for a limited number of species. Light traps have been used for many years to monitor insects, helping us determine which are present and in what numbers. So I was just initially I was talking about that the traps are also meant to monitor the number of insects, to monitor the pest population, so that we may know whether it has reached the economic injury level and has attained the status of an insect pest. Unfortunately, light traps catch many types of insects, including both beneficial and damaging species. Some day-flying insects are attracted to specific colors. Color traps can be coated with a sticky substance to capture these insects. Proper construction and placement of the traps are critical since they must be present the proper appearance, which is the visual image and or it may be color, to the targeted pest to be effective. Some visual traps that can provide partial control of insects when properly used include red sticky balls for apple maggot, yellow sticky cards for aphids and whiteflies, and white cards for plant bugs. So, the color also becomes very important while employing the different kinds of traps for different insects. In addition, some visual traps are enhanced with chemical lures. Other traps employ such tactics as placing boards or grapefruit screens in gardens to provide hiding places for slugs and insects. Rolled up newspapers can serve as a similar device for catching earwigs. Pans with soapy water can be used for aphid monitoring and as an aid in control. These are often used with visual color lures. Chemical lures or bait traps. Pheromones are a well-known type of chemical. Pheromone traps utilize a sex attractant for the pest species. They are excellent monitoring devices and several have been shown to provide control of certain species such as codling moth. Aggregation pheromones are used in traps to collect embark beetles. Feeding attractants are also used to trap insects. Japanese beetle traps, which have been on the market for a number of years, often contain a feeding attractant. Some also contain a sex pheromone. The effectiveness of the Japanese beetle trap as a control method continues to be investigated, and is likely that they can protect small garden areas from too much damage if properly placed. Improper placement, however, can attract more hungry beetles to the garden area. Situate traps of this type well away from the garden so beetles fly away from garden plants. Synthetic apple volatile lures are available for use with apple maggot traps. They greatly increase the efficiency of the traps. So the chemicals can be used, and as I earlier discussed, we can term them as pheromone traps, but these are chemical lures or bait traps where the feeding attractants are used to in traps to attract the insects. The barriers. Barriers are useful for preventing damage for certain pests. Unlike traps, they are used for blocking the feeding activity of the pests. Cutworms collars are valuable for reducing losses to transplanted tomatoes, peppers, broccoli, and other related plants. They can be constructed of cardboard or metal or plastic or similar such materials. They should be 4 inches tall and placed firmly in the soil as soon as the crop is transplanted. The collars must be pushed down into the soil approximately 1 inch to be effective. Partial control of cabbage root maggot on transplanted crops can be achieved with tar paper shields. To make a shield, one has to cut a rounder square piece that is at least 6 inches across. Make a small hole in the center, cut a slit from the edge to the center, and fit the paper around the base of the stem. It should lie flush with the ground, and this shield will serve as an egg-laying barrier to the adult flies if it is placed promptly after transplanting and fitted snugly around the stem. So this kind of a barrier where egg-laying is mm, not allowed, is not permitted, that the insect doesn't lay egg, it acts as a barrier. This shield acts as a barrier, and as a result, if the eggs are not laid, there would be no next progeny and the population would be reduced or controlled. Row covers are used as barriers to some insects such as leaf miners that attack beets, the spinach, and Swiss chard. They can be effective as long as there are no gaps or tears in the material. The material is placed over the crop before or immediately upon crop emergence or transplanting, and no hosts of the pests were grown on that site the previous year. If one uses row covers to exclude pests such as the striped cucumber beetles, remember that row covers exclude pollinating insects as well. So this is one thing which is very great significance, that the pollination, the insects which pollinate or rather which are beneficial also are excluded from the area. So if we are using any such plants, this kind of a row cover, then we just make sure that the insects are that the crops are not insect pollinated. Either they could be self pollinated, wind pollinated, or any other method, but not insect pollination. Covers must be removed or opened up daily to allow pollination. Commercial covers made of polypropylene, polyester, or polyvinyl alcohol are available, but cheesecloth or screening can also be used. These row covers let in light and water and allow continued plant growth. Even ventilated plastic row covers can help keep out some pests. The barrier traps. When insects hit a barrier in their flight path, they tend to fly upward or drop. Barrier traps placed in flyways rely on such behaviors to capture flying insects. One simple barrier trap is the window pane trap, which consists of a piece of clear glass or plastic with a shallow trough filled with 70% ethanol attached at the bottom. When the trap is hung across a path in a flyway or at the edge of the woods, flying insects crash into it. Those that drop after hitting the glass fall into the trough and kill. Now this is a barrier trap. Here this is the trap, and again the same way, if they just flying, they hit the shield and then they fall down and fall into the trough containing 70% alcohol. The bait traps. The addition of bait to many traps will attract large number of certain types of insects. Baited pitfall traps are common collecting devices. The bait is placed in the bottom of the collecting can and covered with a screen, or it is suspended on into or over the trap. Dead animals, rotting foods, and dry cereals are good baits for various crawling insects. One type of pitfall trap, the cereal dish trap, is particularly effective for collecting insects attracted to dung, cow dung. This trap is made from a cereal bowl filled with 70% ethanol and sunk into the ground. The bait is suspended in a small cup over the trap, supported by a wire coat hanger. Now, this is a bait trap. You can see the triangular structure, which is slopy or slippery, and then there are that some mesh skin is there, so that the insects which fall on it, then there is a lure underneath, and the insects fall into uh, just and because of the bait which attracts the insects uh, to uh, towards them. So these are all about the mechanical methods of pest control, which we have discussed under part 1 and part 2. Thank you.